What's up, everybody, and welcome to What's in Your Glass. I'm your host, Carmelo Anthony. Before we get going, let's first welcome to today's guest. You know her as the iconic singer songwriter who has won 9 Grammy awards for her work. You also know her as a double Oscar nominee for her work as both an actor and musician on the film Mudbound. She's also a fashion designer, a philanthropist, and most recently the owner of a wine label, which we'll get to on the show. This woman is a living legend. Please welcome my sister to the show, Mary J. Blige. Thank you, as always, once again.
Thanks for having me, Melo.
Absolutely, absolutely. On today's show, I like to start off with what you drinking. Like, what's in your glass today?
You know what's in my glass. Sun goddess.
Talk
What
to me. That
else?
sun goddess. Talk to
What
me.
else? Look, you know what's in my glass. Sun goddess, baby.
Hey, cheers to that. Cheers. I want to give you a
Yeah.
cheers to that. Many cheers for sure. Absolutely. Let's talk about it a little bit before we get into the show. Let's talk about Sun Goddess. Um, why you got into it? What is it? How is it? What it tastes like? I'll let you do the spill on that.
All right. Well, Sun goddess is 100% a labor of love. I was on tour with Maxwell. Maxwell is one of my really good friends, and he was about to release a wine himself. So he had all his Italian friends, out hanging out with him. And I went to hang out with them one night, and I was just guzzling the Pinot Grigio margarita, the Pinot Grigio, the Santa Margarita, killing that.
Right.
And one of the guys said, why don't you do your own white wine? And I didn't blink, I didn't stutter. Immediately, I said, absolutely, I will do my own white wine or my own Pinot Grigio. So maybe like 3 weeks later, I found myself on the plane on the way to Friuli, Italy. We touched down at Marco Fontanelle's property. Well, not on his property. We touched down in Italy. We drive to his property, and then we end up. His whole property is the winery, so we get right into tasting, or going to his wine cellar. We're tasting what a white wine, what white wines are, what a Pinot Grigio is versus a Sauvignon Blanc versus whatever other white wines. He said, so what do you want your white wine to taste like? I said, I want a Pinot Grigio and I want a Sauvignon Blanc. And so he showed me what that tastes like. So we did all that tasting and drinking, and we got drunk, and we went to a party that was having one of his property for his children for his grandfather that day. And then the next day we went into where the grapes were, the touching the grapes, and him explaining to me, what the Pinot Grigio grape was versus the Sauvignon Blanc grape. The Pinot Grigio grape happened to be a brown grape or a purple grape, and I thought all Pinot Grigio was white, so it was a learning experience.
Absolutely.
The whole trip was a full learning experience. I get home, I taste, it's taste test time. It's time to put the juice in the bottle, and I taste everything, and it's crazy. It blew my mind. And then everything was released during the first half of COVID, that first quarantine when everybody was drinking for their lives, and it hit wine.com and went crazy. The rest is history. We're here right now.
Absolutely. So big shout out to that experience. Um, but before we get into it, and I want to ask you, I should have asked you this before first. Like, how are you? First and foremost,
I'm great.
what's been occupying your time, your energy lately? I need to know that.
I'm great. I'm working hard on music right now. I got some new fire, some new music coming. So everybody, hold on to your seats. It's crazy. Um, what else? Just we just got finished shooting the Super Bowl intro, the halftime stuff. I'm sorry, the Super Bowl halftime commercials and stuff like that. And we just finished that, and just that's it. Promoting Ghost is coming on the 21st. Promoting that, and
About time. About
yeah,
time.
yeah, new music. What else is on this list? A couple of shows coming up at Barclays Center and then in Baltimore. So I'm in rehearsals for that, and yeah, that's a lot.
well, we'll get into everything, but first we got to talk about your wine label, Sun Goddess. I mean, we've spoken about it before. but this is a different audience that we're speaking to today. So I want to talk about, the Sun Goddess wines. I know, like I said, we discussed this before, but we have to get into it on what's in your glass. Starting at the beginning, and I think you touched on that a little bit.
Mhm.
How do you decide you wanted to get into that lane?
I just, it's nothing that complicated. I just love Pinot Grigio. I love wine, period. And it just came from me loving it. One of the guys asked me, did I want to do it? And I said, yes, Maxwell, because of Maxwell, I'm in this business because Maxwell introduced me to his partners. And now I'm in the wine business. So shout out to Maxwell. Much love for
For
him
sure, big shout out to
sharing.
that.
Yeah.
What and Sun Goddess again comes from Italy.
Mhm.
And you explained this to me before when we did another kind of chat on Facebook. What ultimately drew you to that region?
The region, Friuli, Italy.
Yes.
uh, the owner of the property. Not that I never even heard of Friuli, Italy.
Me either. Till you told me that last time. I didn't even hear about that till you told me that last time.
I just jumped on a plane, took a chance, went down there, fell in love with some beautiful people, have some extended family now. And like I said, Marco's whole property was the winery. It was all green. It was all vineyards and where they, he had a spot where they make prosciutto at and ham and just it was just stuff everywhere. Amazing, really, really wealthy man. So now it's like I have a new place in Italy to visit, Friuli, and it's beautiful and quiet and sexy and all of that.
So I mean, big shout out to your partner though too. Marco
Hmm.
Fontanelli, because that's again he introduced you to a region that, like you said, you haven't even heard of. I never even heard of that region, and I've been
Hmm.
to Italy all throughout Italy. So
Hmm.
big shout out to Marco for that. I just saw that. I just on another note, I just saw that you performed at the Rockefeller Center to celebrate the 100th anniversary for Chanel No. 5 perfume. Which, by the way, I saw the flicks. The flicks came out fire.
Thank you.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. How was the event, and what was like? What was it like performing? For such a celebration.
It was fun. I mean, it's Chanel, so it was real. It was real. It was different from. Uh, but it was nice. I did. I did my 45 minutes, if that, and I said thank you to everybody and kept it moving. But it was beautiful. The clothes they gave us and the jewelry they gave us and stuff was nice. The setup was nice. It was all, it was at the Rockefeller, skate center skating ring. So it was like mass social distance. The audience was way over there and I was way over there. And I was going crazy. How I was acting.
Right, of course, of course.
Whether it was far or near, I was gonna just do what I did. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
And you always been a fashionable icon. Like you always been that. Even back in the day, you always was that. Like where did that love for fashion generally come from?
Well, it came from being up, growing up in the projects in the inner cities and watching like all my sheroes who were like female drug dealers who had everything: furs, diamonds, Timberlands, cars. Just they looked like what we wanted to look like, and they had the things that we wish we could buy. So, and then when you kind of grow up with, not a lot, you figure out how to make do with what you have, and then that creates creativity in you when you have to figure it out. So it all came from just figuring it out, and just watching my sister dress and some of my friends dress, and just taking my own stuff and putting it together and figuring it out. Like it's not like I went to school. I just
Right, right.
we just learn how to survive, and then we learn how to thrive in it. So now we thrive in it because we have access to all of the stuff we want, and it's not just about money either. It's about, what do you want to do? What's tasteful to you, not what's tasteful to everybody else.
Similar to the wine, is
Yeah,
to each to your personal preference.
exactly.
What is your secret? I mean, you music, acting, wine,
Mhm.
and so on and so forth. Like, what is your secret though? A lot of people want to know what's your secret, and
Yeah.
just being able to juggle so many different endeavors that you have going on.
Well, just to sustain, it's just peace of mind. It's staying. I take my spirituality very seriously. I have to wake up in the morning and thank God and pray and get my mind right so I can deal with the world. So if I can deal with the world, I can take on the world. I can
Right.
dabble in
Absolutely.
different, I could do whatever it is I set my heart out to do. So it's just positivity, learning how to think positive and having faith in what you do and believing in what you do, no matter what. So it took a while to get here, but I'm here. I have faith in Mary J. Blige, just brand. I have faith in myself. I have faith in what I can do, and I have confidence in it. So it shows. It's if you speak it into existence, and if you believe it, you can have it. But you got to
Absolutely.
but you got to work for it. You have to.
You got to work for it.
Yeah,
You got to put the work in for sure. You got to put the
yeah,
work in.
yeah.
Next up, you have some big upcoming performances
Mm-hmm.
at Barclays, and then you go into to Be More at the Royal Farms Arena.
Yep.
Next week. Like how you feeling about those shows? Like I'm sure you're
Mm-hmm.
excited. I'm sure you get
Mm-hmm.
locked into to the big stage like that. So, but how you feeling about those two shows in particular?
I'm so excited about those shows because I haven't had a performance like this since before COVID. Our people, all of us, we need a hug, like a big, big, big hug from each other, and that's what I do at my concerts. I just hug everybody at one time with giving them 200% of Mary all night long, and just having fun with everybody. Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
I'm sure. Be More is definitely excited.
Yep.
And Barclays, that's gonna always be, a
Mm-hmm,
great place to perform at
mm-hmm,
as well. You mentioned it earlier, and when we first started, word on the street is that, in addition to performing, you also been working on some new music,
mm-hmm.
lately. So what can you share with me and the listeners about what you've been working on, and when can listeners expect new music coming from you?
Well, I got an album coming in January. I got 3 singles coming in November, videos and
Oh,
all. Like we're doing it like we
oh.
used to do it in 1994. Like
Oh yeah, yeah.
we,
Okay, okay.
but today the videos are the singles. So we got to act real crazy. Like we got to
Yeah,
do
of
some
course.
crazy.
You got to take it back. You got to take it back.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun. And the music is crazy. It represents where I am today, how I feel, and it represents what life really is. Life is not, oh God, I'm sad all the time, but life is not all I'm happy all the time. Life is life, and that's what, my albums always speak, represent, what life is. But mostly now just the the upside of life is just appreciating my life and appreciating how far I've come and the things I've survived.
No, I mean you always. I mean, as a fan of your music, you've always touched on those pain points.
Mm-hmm.
You touched on things that you've been through. You touched on things that's going on around you, your surroundings, family, friends. Whatever it was, you brought that pain to the forefront to make people realize, like, damn, like she's human at the end of the day. We
Mm-hmm.
we can relate to that because she's going through some of the similar shit that we're going through. So
Mm-hmm.
I,
Mm-hmm.
I, I will always take my hat off to you for that. This episode of What's in Your Glass is brought to you by our friends at Talkspace. You've heard us talk about them before, and that's because we believe that it's important to take charge of your mental health. And look, we all know how important mental health is, especially in our society today, that can prioritize productivity over how we feel mentally. And we all know that can have long-lasting and damaging impacts on our health and well-being. Athletes work hard to keep their bodies at peak performance. It's time we treat mental health the same way. We exercise, take supplements, and eat right to keep our bodies going. Therapy can have the same game-changing effect on your mental health. Treat your brain like a muscle and give it the same level of care as the rest of your body with Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to match with a licensed therapist and get confidential, convenient, and affordable support for your mental health. The thing I love about Talkspace is how easy it can be to match with a licensed therapist and schedule a session. It makes it so convenient even for those with a lot on their calendar. Talkspace works around your schedule, at your convenience. You can send and receive unlimited messages 24/7 with your dedicated therapist in the app. Plus, you can schedule live video sessions with your licensed therapist from anywhere. Whether you're an athlete, a rec league player, or just someone having a hard day, Talkspace is ready to help you start feeling better with a single message. You can set goals with your Talkspace therapist and help ensure your progression. If you feel like your mental health has been stuck on the sidelines, Talkspace is here to help. Match with licensed therapists when you go to Talkspace.com and get $100 off your first month with the promo GLASS. That's $100 off when you use code GLASS at Talkspace.com. we got to talk about the Super Bowl halftime show. It was
Okay.
announced you would perform at the Super Bowl 56 halftime show at the actually here in LA at the SoFi Stadium with Dre, Snoop, Eminem, Kendrick. Like that show is gonna be crazy. It's spectacular. What can you tell us about that? Like the early planning for the show, and how did all of this come to be?
Well, let me just say this much. I just came back from LA. We were shooting the intro to the show and and the commercial. All I can say is this thing. I'm excited because it just it feels so big. It just feels
Yeah.
crazy. This is I think probably the biggest Super Bowl halftime show because it's just culturally relevant. It's just a big thing for us. And man, Dr. Dre is not playing around, with them visuals, man. I'm so honored and excited that Dre called me. Yo, man, hey. I was like, he's like Super Bowl halftime. I was like, what? I'm there. Let's go. And it's it's just been a team work effort. Just shooting with all the guys. It's so much fun, man. And I'm so excited. That's all I can say. I'm so excited.
Right.
Far as like the performance and what we're gonna do, we haven't gotten into that rehearsal yet. We're getting into that in January when we go for rehearsals.
The lineup, I mean, the lineup is crazy. It's just that lineup is crazy.
Yeah.
That when you really put the numbers behind what that lineup is, right, and put it in perspective, collectively, it's 43 Grammys, in 19, I think it's 19 number one Billboard albums. Uh,
Ooh.
like what like I don't even know what to say. Like, what should people expect from that show?
Listen, you see my face trying to talk about it. I was almost like out of my breath. Like Dre showed me, everybody shot separately, and then we shot some of it, together. But Dre showed me what his visual was. I was like, man, if my visual looked like that,
Right.
we're gonna. But it's gonna be epic and and massive. I don't have no words. It's just some gigantic some gigantic shit that's happening.
Now I already know it's that. I mean, I'm sitting here as a fan, as a spectator, and it's like when I hear that lineup of Dre and M and Kendrick, and then Mary on top of that, for NFL Super Bowl halftime show. We don't get those opportunities often.
Right.
With black people don't get those opportunities often to
Right.
perform at Super Bowl and to do it with that type of lineup. So I'm gonna just sit back and watch and be a fan. I'll probably be there cheering and shit and jumping up and down and singing your songs. But I don't think people understand that. I want people to really put that into perspective. We don't get those opportunities enough to perform at events like that in moments in history, and that's a moment in history that nobody will ever forget with that. So congratulations on that as
Thank
well.
you.
We'll be locked into that.
Thank you.
Bringing it all back to what's in your glass. I just have before we wrap, I have a few quick fire questions for you to close us out. Myself and the people, we like to know what's in your glass on special occasions. It doesn't have to be any label specifically, but what's your go-to when you're on a beach vacation?
Man, well, when I'm on a beach vacation, I'm still drinking Sun Goddess if it's around.
That's for life, for life.
But it's always around. But it's always around. It's always around. I can't give no other wine no props.
Indeed.
I can't. I gotta be selfish
Indeed.
with that.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yeah.
So Sun Goddess on the beach vacation. You're out to a nice dinner. You're out to a nice dinner. Let's keep it with that.
Okay. So
What's in your glass?
if I'm out to a nice dinner, it would probably be if there's no Sun Goddess around, like a Casamigo margarita or something like that. A margarita with
Okay.
Casamigo in it, because Casamigo
Okay.
is my favorite tequila. Blanco.
Okay.
Yeah, Blanco.
You can't go
Blanco.
wrong. You can't go wrong with that though. You can't go wrong with that.
Never.
What you had in your glass, I'm gonna take you back. What you had in your glass when you celebrated your first Grammy?
My first Grammy, probably Hennessy. definitely Hennessy, I'm sure.
That was a long night of the Henny. Definitely a long night. What you're celebrating with what I'm sure is going to be an out of this world performance in the Super Bowl stage. What's in your glass after that?
Man, everything. No, I'm gonna keep it because I don't like to get belligerent and blasted. I'm gonna keep it to Casamigo shots, and
Okay.
I know Sun Goddess is gonna be floating around, and then I might have a glass of champagne somewhere. I don't know, like glass of Ace of Spades or Boo or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's what this that after that performance, that's one of those nights. I can say that. That's gonna be one of those nights.
It has to be one of those nights.
Say less. Say less. That's an epic night. That's an epic night. I want to, sis, I want to say thank you again, man. I want to say thank you for touching base with me, jumping on here, joining me for a glass, and best of luck with everything you have going on right now. Your performance is coming up, your Super Bowl performance, your 2 shows, your wine, and just, you have the show coming back on with Stars at Fifth, which everybody's gonna be tuned into. I'm sure they waiting.
Yeah, the 21st.
Absolutely, the 21st. So the anticipation is definitely there. But I want to say thank you again. I want to say thank you to the audience for tuning in this week. You guys know, please follow, rate, review what's in your glass on all the Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts at. You can also check the video releases each week on YouTube. And again, I'm going to bow out gracefully to my sis. Let's cheers. One last cheers.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, sis.
Thanks a lot for having
Always
me.
love. Absolutely. Cheers to the Sun Goddess. I'm still waiting on my package. I'm still waiting on my package.
Okay.
I'm still waiting on my package.
All right, you gotta send the address. Like we not.
I'm on it. I'm on it right now. I'm on it. As soon as we hang up, I'm sending the address.
All right, send it now. You said that the last
I'm sending
time.
it. No, I got it. I'm sending it right now, sis.
All right.
I got
Nice
it.
talking to you,
Always.
Melo.
Cheers.
All right.
Love,
cheers.
baby.
Love.
All right.